All right, second short video. I'm going to run through the last 3 things you're going to be graded on, and then we'll rock and roll. So next, after your weekly assignments are going to be, oh, that's not the Battle of Chickamauga. That's John Gass' famous picture, American Progress. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to write a 3 to 4 page book review on David McCullough's The Pioneers. It's going to be double spaced, Times New Roman, 12-inch font, regular factory margins. And what the book review does is allow you, in a clear, concise language, to put down your knowledge and comprehension of the historical situations that he presents. So there are a couple links here that are going to show you what a book review is, but I just want to tell you what it is not. It is not a book report, meaning do not tell me what the book is about. Don't say in chapter 1 this happened, then this happened, then this happened, then this happened. What you should do is pick a theme, argument, compare, contrast events, peoples, writing style, and write about that. But I want the students to understand that this is a general outline, because ultimately the book review is open-ended and that you decide what, why, who you write on. So because it's yours, and I don't want to take too many ideas from you, I'll just give an example topic. And it's just taken from the book cover. The book cover argues that what he writes about is a uniquely American story. So if you take that as kind of the background of what he's arguing, then you could say, how is it shown throughout the book? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Use some examples, right? You could also look at all the characters and do a character study of each to compare and contrast them, right? Because they're all different characters. How are they similar? How are they different? Time periods, so on and so forth, right? So a good way of looking at it is writing on how you view the book, the lens through which you think about the themes or the characters. And so this is what makes every review different. Everyone reads a book differently. So what you're going to write on and what you found important is going to be completely different from what I did, but that's what's great about it. So you have a book review that's due on midnight, end of day, Friday, October 11th. And that's worth 175 points. You're also going to write a discussion board on what you wrote about, and then you're going to look at a couple of your classmates and you're going to comment on those as well. So, right here, in week 6, the Pioneers Book Review and Discussion Turn-In. You're going to write your review, turn it in here, browse your computer, hit submit, I get pinged. Then, you're going to go to the discussion board, create a thread, and say what I wrote about. And then you're going to write 2 or 3 paragraphs on what you wrote about, what you thought was pertinent, what you didn't, what resonated with you, what didn't. You're going to hit submit. Your name is going to show up along with all of your other classmates here. And then you're going to pick 2 or 3 of your classmates and you're going to read their discussion posts. And then you're going to comment on them. Oh yeah, I wrote about that, or I didn't write about that, etc. This is what I found important. And you're going to have a discussion about the book. Okay? So that's your book review. Next, we're going to cut the book about President Polk, the Hulkamania, into 3 different posts and discussion boards. On the due date of the discussions, you will type into a discussion post that you create 4 to 5 paragraph analysis of the section assigned, equivalent to 1 and a 1.5 page analysis. And then you're going to read and comment on 2 of your classmates' posts. It can include things what the author was trying to argue, what resonated with you, what you thought was pertinent, what did not, what surprised you, how does the author do historically speaking, is it well documented, is it not, was Polk a quote-unquote man who transformed the presidency in America like the author argues? Those are the things you're going to be writing on. So your first discussion posts and comments are going to be on chapters 1 through 7. And then I put page numbers, but I also put chapters just in case you have an ebook. and it will be due midnight, end of day, November 3rd. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to Polk Discussion number 1 Turn-In, and you're going to create a discussion board for it. That's due midnight, November 3rd. You're going to create a thread, and you're going to say Polk Discussion number 1 Turn-In. And then you're going to write in here or upload an attachment, a Word document, your 1.5 page assessment of the first chapter, the first 7 chapters of the book, or whatever I told you to write on. Hit submit. Just like the other thing, just like the book review, your discussion board and all of your classmates are going to come up through here, and you're going to comment on at least 2 or 3 of them. Okay, easy peasy. Lastly, and then you can rock and roll, is your historical fiction final. So what you're going to do, instead of taking an exam, is you're going to create a character that is relevant to our geographical area and pertains to our time. 3 to 4 pages, double spaced, Times New Roman, 12 in font. You're going to give an idea of what occurred in that person's life, but there is no set time frame for how long your person lived. So you can choose when to start and when to not start their journey. So for example, you choose to be a chieftain of an Algonquin tribe during the French-Indian War. What would the conversations have been like? What was your role? Why did you decide to side with the French? How did the fighting go, right? This is guerrilla war, like the British had never, and the French had never seen before. What goes on? All of these things. And it can be written in any style, whether that is purely narrative, first person, third person, with conversations, without conversations, and so on. The project is yours. And there's, like I said, there's no specific timeline, as each topic is different, but what I do, you may have enough information to write on only a couple days, while some may want to write about a whole person's life. It's completely up to you, right? You might, if you're talking about the Algonquin tribes during the French-Indian War, you could write about one battle. You could write about the morning of, how you're feeling, then the battle, and then the aftermath. You could write about negotiations between you and the French. Anything you want to talk about. That's worth 150 points. Then what you're going to do is you're going to create a visual component of this, whether it's PowerPoint, graphic design, comic strip, video, whatever you want, Google Slides, PDF, whatever you want to do. That should cover what you think is important to your character's story. There's no set number of slides or time limit. If you want to put audio, you don't have to put audio. But what it really will do is cover who your person was and what you wrote on. And it's going to be turned in a blog, just like your introduction blog. And so that's going to be worth 50 points. You will need at least 4 different sources in your presentation. Wikipedia is not one of them. These are academic sources. Wikipedia is a good website for background and to find sources, but it's not academic. Oh, excuse me. Don't worry about this. One of the 4 sources will be required to be a book from your library. I know a lot of you may not have access to that at this time, so I'm going to take that off. But you need 4 different sources. You can cite using MLA, Chicago, APA, anything. It can be at the end of your paper or at the end on a slide on your presentation. Just show me what your sources are somewhere. And I would really like you to keep me in the loop throughout the semester of who you decide to pick, just so we have a good understanding and any road bumps you might hit, etc., etc. Here are a couple websites for like video making that you can use. So that's going to be worth 200 points. So where do you turn all this in? Week 16, final paper and visual turn-in. Your final paper is going to be due midnight, Friday, December 13th. You're going to browse your computer, upload it, hit submit. I'm going to get pinged. Then your visual presentation is here. You're going to create your blog entry. And then when you create it and you upload it, then you're going to see the names of your classmates down here. And I want you to pick 2 or 3 of them and look at their presentations and see what they wrote about and comment on them. Okay, good to go. I think that is it. Below that, you have course resources, library resources, course evaluation, and so on. These all help as well. A lot of this is like how to write an essay and so forth. And then your library resources there, how to find an article, things of that nature. So that is class in a nutshell. I'm looking forward to it. Good luck, and please let me know if you have any questions at all throughout, and I will answer them. Let's learn some U.S. history.